Hi everyone, myself Orko today and welcome to a new video. And before starting out the video, the intro song. When the morning sun wakes up the day, I'm chasing dreams in my own way. Every step a beat, every breath a chance. This is life, glorious dance. When the morning sun wakes up the day, I'm chasing dreams in my own way. Every step a beat, every breath a chance. This is life, glorious dance. So today we will be talking about 10 life advices mm, and myself Orko. So let's get started. What is the first one? The first one is have a firm handshake. See, handshake, you would think that it is a basic gesture before you would start talking to anyone, but it actually speaks a lot about yourself. So having a firm handshake would convey that you are confident, that you are having a positive mindset towards the other person, and you respect yourself as well as the other one. uh, but if you would have a shaky or not so confident handshake, that would be not a great start to your journey, because whether you meet you with your friends, whether you are in an interview, or whether you talk to any strangers, having a firm handshake is very very important. And this is simple, yet it speaks a lot about you. It adds depth to your personality. So the second one is, we second one, you would relate if you are an introvert. uh, that is, look people in the eye. Often introverted people don't make eye contacts with people, but this is a very bad habit, because when you are not making eye contact with people, you are actually disrespecting them. You are actually making them feel that you are distracted. You are not so engaged with them. So you should actually look people in the eye when they're talking to you, or when they are certainly explaining something to you. And when you will go to some of the restaurants or some meeting, you should keep your phone out and like make it, just keep it there, and just in a reverse position, because if this shows, and keeping your hands on the table, or uh, in your like not doing something, not making some gestures or keeping them straight, because it denotes that you are totally engaged in that conversation, or you are living in that present moment, and you are not distracted or not doing something else, not giving importance to something else in that period of time. So this is very important to look people in the eye, because it is one of the most powerful forms of non-verbal communication. So what is the next thing? The next thing is singing in the shower. We often sing in the shower, right? And it actually lightens up our mood. Life isn't about deadlines, meetings, and work. There is a different, totally different access, totally different perspective that you should have towards life. Be like a walking paradox. I have listened to it in Instagram reel, that you should be like a walking paradox. You should have a scientific mind, but along with that, you should be interested in arts. you should be interested in poetry, in music, because you can earn bread and butter through the daily courses of life, through a 9 to 5 job, but you won't be alive. Being alive is not that you are just having your lunch and dinner and you are earning for your, like, for earning just for the food. You should be doing something else that keeps you alive and keeps you happy. That's why people often keep something as their hobby, and the most successful people actually makes their hobby their profession. So if you won't be able to make your hobby your profession, that's all right, but you should keep your hobbies aside and do something which actually fills up your mind and makes you happy. So you should sing in the shower and keep your inner child alive. Next one is own a great stereo system. Owning a great stereo system have a lot of benefit. I would say it is a great investment you could do to yourself, because see, music can change your mood in minutes. If you listen something motivating, you would be motivated. If you listen something depressing, you would be depressed. Something party songs, you would be happy. You would have a adrenaline rush in your body. So it is very important to own a great music system, and it's like a time machine. It actually freezes the time when you are listening, when you are absorbing the music, when the lyrics goes through your mind. You actually, you are teleported from that very place to else somewhere else. So there is a practice among the monks that they have to spend one night in very cold weather without, like, having sweaters and all, and still they should sweat. And how does they do that? They actually, what they do was, they actually think of a warm place in their mind, and the mind actually plays such a beautiful trick that the mind says to the brain that we are actually in a warmer place, we're actually in a hot place. So, and the monk in the cold weather started to sweat. But the environment is totally different, and what you think is totally different. And what you think actually gets implemented in the body. This is called psychosomatic behavior. Like what your psychomind, what your mind thinks, that gets reflected in the body. That is somatic. So this is very much important to, it can lift your spirits. uh, so you should have a music system and start off your day with beautiful music that you love. So the next one is, can be a little bit controversial, but if in a fight, hit first and hit hard. See, the if word at the first of the at the starting of the sentence is very important. Why it is important? Because if you are in a fight, if was placed at the starting of the sentence, because first of all you should try to avoid a fight as much as possible. Like in the Gita, you would have seen Krishna actually does everything to avoid the fight. Krishna actually like gives very much effort to pass on, to avoid war, because war actually don't gives you anything rather than destruction, death, blood, and sadness. But if it is the last option to fight, you have to. You have to, for yourself, for others, for your responsibilities, not for your ego or not for your stubbornness, but for the real emotions if something bad has happened to you. So this is about not about violence. So if you are in a fight, you should hit fast and hit hard. So पहले ही बता देना अपने दुश्मन को कि who are you. If you are, if you wait for the blow to yourself, they would think you are weak. But you should start off, and before starting off, you should always think that it is the last option. Sam, Dam, Dand, Ved. So it is the last option that may be left. Then you should adopt it. Keep secrets. Uh, you would find very hard to. You would find it very hard, very difficult to search for a person in your life who would keep your secrets. And if you have found one, you are lucky, because people don't keep the secrets. They are like, they are unstable. They want to tell it to someone else. And trust is very fragile. It's like a glass. If it shatters, you can't be able to again make it. So you should be that friend who keep other secrets. And if someone is giving you some secrets of their life, they are actually giving you very very precious. They are actually giving you something which is very very precious. It is beyond value. It is more than gold or diamond. So you should be responsible to keep that secret, and you should be a person who can be trustworthy to others. Next is never give up on anybody. Miracles happens every day. You should never give up on anybody or anything, because you must have heard stories that uh, so see, there is a great metaphorical story that I can share with you. uh, Suppose you have a big rock, and the rock is like that. You must have seen when you are using a big hammer to break the rock, and you are like blowing it, you are hitting it hard. In the first about 10 to 15 hits, even nothing happens to the rock. But after about, after in the 16th hit, it would crack open completely. So hope is very much important, because you won't be able, suppose in the first 10 hits you think 10 में तो नहीं हुआ, 11वें में क्या ही हो जाएगा. But your 11th hit holds the power to completely break open the rock. I am currently watching Shark Tank, and I heard a story about a young entrepreneur who actually did cold email to a client for continuously 47 days. If she had been stopped cold mailing uh, in the 46th day, he wouldn't have got the order and his business wouldn't got the growth because that is a wholesale order. So you should never give up on something, and consistency is the key. बिकॉज अगर consistent हो तो एक पानी के बूंद भी एक पत्थर में छेद कर सकता है. लाइक इफ अ single drop of water for about lakhs and lakhs of times fall on a rock, it would make a hole in the rock. That is the power of consistency. And you should be never be out of hope, because hope is the only thing you have, and you should have belief in the divine power, in God. That, see, हम ना यहाँ पर थे before born, we born we were not here, and after death we will be not here. And actually nobody can change or nobody can control whenever he or she was born, and nobody can control the death. You can't ask death to actually, I have some work, came tomorrow, or just give me 10 minutes more. No, this can't be done. Agar, if these two things are not in our hand, then why do we think that the whole process between them is in our hand? We are actually in a puppet show. We are actually puppets, and we were being controlled by the almighty or nature, whatever you believe. So we should believe in that. And there are great lines that uh, अब सौंप दिया इस जीवन का हर भार तुम्हारे हाथों में, है जीत तुम्हारे हाथों में, है हार तुम्हारे हाथों में, मुझ में तुझ में एक फर्क, मैं नर हूँ तू है नारायण, मैं संसार के हाथों में, संसार तुम्हारे. So it's actually about surrendering and having wholesome desires, that not having greed in life, having wholesome desires, that okay, everything was predefined, everything was done, but I should do my job and that's it. You should be humble, because a lot was accomplished before you came here. So the next, or the eighth point, is always accept an outstretched hand. See, whenever someone came to help you, accept their help. It can change your life. Like, but there are two things that come in the way, that acts like a wall, that is pride and ego. Ego is a very bad thing, and you should drop off ego. Ego of everything. Ego of the fame, ego of the money, ego of the more, everything. So there is a great line from Gorakhnath. Uh, he actually says that मरो हे योगी मरो, मरण है मीठा, इस तरह मरो जिस तरह गोरख मरे मीठा. The way he says maro, it is not literal death. It is not death. Actually, what is death? Death is not actually the end of things. Death is just the change of body. Just you change clothes. So if you believe in afterlife, death is just a change of body. If you don't believe, then death is nothing. Death is not an end, because actually you were not here before you were born, and you will be not here after you will die. So what will change? Nothing changes, right? So for a short span of time you are here, and for the other times it will be constant. So actually here the monk signifies death by killing your ego. Aham को मानना. Aham मतलब you have to kill your ego, you have to surrender yourself to the god or to the nature. And when you will surrender yourself, then you will actually realize the beauty, the joy, the magic, the miracles of life. There is another story, and it may be a real story, I don't know. But once there was a king who in the morning goes for a actually morning ride in his chariot. There were two horses uh, at the front, and in his beautiful chariot, he actually roams in his area, the area in which he rules, and he loves it. He does it every day, and he actually sees that a old man actually carries a lot of luggage in his head from the market and goes in his house. So one day the king felt bad about him. He was such an old man and he was carrying a heavy luggage. So why I won't give him uh like why I can't take him with me and just drop him off in his house. Then the king thought that and asked the old man that how it will be if you came with me. You just come with me and I will drop you in your house. Then the old man, at first, he was scared because he was the king, right? And the king not often talks with everyone. But later, he uh, felt happy and actually goes into the chariot. And after he sits in the chariot, but he doesn't takes off the luggage from his head. The king asked, "You can keep the luggage here in the chariot." The old man said that uh, I I did not want to give you much problem. You are carrying me, that is enough. You don't have to carry my luggage also. But the old man is not aware that if he puts down the luggage also, the chariot is carrying the same weight. If he like keeps in his head or if he puts down in the chariot. So the moral is actually we are in the chariot of God, and God is asking us to leave all the responsibilities, all the all the stress, everything, everything in the chariot. But we we are not aware of that, and we are taking all of that in our head. But actually, the carrier is carried by God, is given direction by God only. So हम ये समझ नहीं पाते कि we are just here, we are just in a dream, and everything was controlled by some other ways. So you should kill your ego, you should surrender yourself, and you should enjoy. You should, I'm not telling not doing your task, but you should enjoy. And you should be humble. When someone reaches out to you, take their hand. When someone is trying to help you, take their help. And you should as well help others in their journey. There is another quote that I helped a man reaching a mountain, and surprisingly, I saw myself at the peak. कि मैंने पहाड़ चढ़ने में किसी का हेल्प किया और मैं देखता कि मैं भी पहाड़ की चोटी पर हूँ. Because when you are helping someone, na, automatically the benefits will you will get the benefits, but you should not help thinking about the benefits. You should help unintentionally, and the law of karma will like will does its job. Next one, the ninth point is be brave even if you are not. Pretend to be one. No one can tell the difference. See, courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is simply acting that you are not afraid, even when you are in fear. So, when you are going something stressful in life, you should act brave. You should be brave. You should pretend to be one. It's not fake it until you make it. It's like you are actually giving signals to your mind that I am brave. I am like courageous. So, and this trick will show up. People see, people will only see what you show to them. They can't deep, they can't dig deep into your emotions. And often, when you will start faking it, about 1 or 2 days, your brain will also think that it is real. And voila, everything is done for you. What else do you want? So the 10th is whistle. Whistle means uh, like uh, whistling. It's about lightness. Whistle, when you whistle, na, you actually use your muscles to make some sound, and during that time you are actually meditating. You are actually fully gives your thought comes to an end. The thoughts that constantly does zig moves in a zigzag pattern in your brain, your mind, it comes to a halt, and you are engaged in a physical activity. And it's a small act, so let yourself be that source of cheer for you. The last one, this is a bonus one. This is 11th. So avoid sarcastic remarks. And nowadays, with your friends, you may can who are your very close friends, but with most of the people, you should avoid sarcastic remarks. You may look cool, you may look uh, like smart around people when you criticize them, maybe in a cheerful way, but it's a bad habit because it actually leaves behind some invisible wounds which you can't see. And there can be times, and it happened with me also, that people won't feel good about it. Why you would like to hurt someone for a moment of pleasure, for a moment of joy? And it's not a good way to criticize people and having joy. You should choose words very carefully when you are communicating with others, because you can say sorry after saying someone, but you can't take the word back. That actually gets into their mind, and they can forgive you, but they will never forget that thing. So you should be kind rather than having sarcastic remarks. Kindness is a quality that never goes out of fashion, and when you are kind, people can see it through your eyes, and you would see that you will be a charismatic magnet. People will want to be around you because you are a kind, good person. And that's it for today. I think it will be a long video. Yeah, 30 minutes. So that's it for today, guys. Orkojotide signing off.